The Story of David and Goliath, written and illustrated by Phil A. Smouse. No weapon that is formed against you shall prosper. Isaiah 54:17. Two armies were gathered on two distant hills, but the army on one gave the other the chills. Both armies were fuming and ready to fight, and it looked like at any time now they just might. When what to their wondering eyes did appear, but a creature so terrible, mean, and severe, that each man in God's army, each soldier and spear, was French-frazzled with fear from the front to the rear. He was biggeth and talleth, and largeth and higheth. He stretched from the ground straight up to the skyeth, armed to the teeth, both above and beneath, a big burly Philistine giant, Goliath. Yoo-hoo! Boys, Goliath spat, come out and play. I brought my bat. You say you're all fuming and ready to fight? Then put up your dukes. Have at it, all right? So they put up their dukes, every one and all, but their dukes were all saggy and baggy and small, and they knew if they made just one pip or wee squeak, he would round them and pound them clean into next week. So night after night, after day, on and on went Goliath that very same way. And for 40 long days on their side of the hill, they just stood like statues and took it, until a wee tiny fellow so dinky and small that you'd hardly believe he would matter at all, wandered into the camp and just happened to hear all the fee-fi-fo-fum that had filled them with fear. Just who does this Philistine think that he is? Said that dinky small dude with that big voice of his. He's insulting the army of Almighty God, but he'll do it no more over my own wee bod. Well, now, that kind of talk turns some heads right away. No, that's not like the thing that you hear every day. So when word got around that wee dinky small dude was shipped off to the king who was coming unglued. Yes, the king was upset. And why shouldn't he be? He had to whip someone as big as a tree. Oh, but when he saw David, his tummy flip-flopped, his heart sunk down to his sandals and stopped. They needed a hero, a fighting machine, but Dave looked like he couldn't whip a sardine. This kid is a tadpole, a peewee, a guppy. We need a he-man, said the king, not a puppy. Now pardon me, son, you're a cute little tyke, but we need a King Kong, not a boy on a bike. My name, sir, is David, and if I may say, said that wee tiny guy in his extra large way, that I've beat up a bear and I've clobbered a lion and whipped them both good, sir, without even trying. For God is my strength, and although I'm quite small, by his might and his power, Goliath will fall. You say you need someone who's manly and tough? Then come over here, king, and I'll show you my stuff. Well, aren't you a spunky young godly good guy? All right, said the king, let's go give it a try. So the king gave wee David his helmet and boots, and his shield and his sword and his giant-proof suit, and he figured that David was ready to fight, when in fact he was locked down and frozen up tight. I can't fight like this. Man, I can't even see. This might work for you, but it won't work for me. I said this before, but I'll say it again. It's God who will fight, and it's God who will win. So David debooted, disrobed, and undressed. He untangled that old tin cantankerous mess, bolted down to the stream, gathered 5 smooth small stones, then took off like the wind, bent to rattle some bones. "Hey, giant!" David yelled. "Yeah, I'm talking to you. Hey, I'm telling you just what I'm going to do. You've insulted the army of Almighty God. Now you better get ready to swallow some sod." Well, Goliath looked down just below his left knee. Oh, and what to his wondering eyes did he see? But a wee teeny fellow, so dinky and small, that you'd hardly believe he could matter at all. "What am I, a dog?" thundered mean old Goliath, "that you send me this wee teeny not very higheth, pink peach fuzzy pup with a stick and some rocks? Ooh, I'm shaking the whole way on down to my socks." "Well then fight like a man," rumbled dinky small Dave. "What's the matter, you sissy? Come on, make my day. This battle is God's, and in God's mighty name, on this day I'm the hunter, and you are the game." And so out came his sling, and then in went a stone, and wee dinky small Dave in a way all his own, slung it round and around and around and about, and that one tiny smooth shiny pebble flew out. Like a photon torpedo, like lightning it sped, and it bopped old Goliath right square in the head. "My word," said Goliath, "you are a good shot. I was going to duck, but I guess I forgot. Why is everyone spinning? Who turned out the lights? Is it nap time already? Oh well, nighty-night." And right there in that spot, in the blink of an eye, thy gigantic, enormous, big muscle-bound guy went as soft as a Twinkie. He pitched and he yawed, and fell down with a crash, fat head first in the sod. You can puff yourself up. It won't help you at all. For the bigger you are, then the harder you'll fall. But when God is your strength, you're 100 feet tall. Even though you're the smallest wee person of all. This day will the Lord deliver you into my hand. 1 Samuel 17:46. The story of David and Goliath.